When I was growing up here in London, I always enjoyed a trip to the zoo. It was my chance to see exotic birds I thought I'd never get to see in the wild.
Wow, look at that, that's a lilac-breasted roller. Superb. And that literally is called a superb starling. And an African jacana. God, I feel like I'm in Africa. But there's another bird I'd really like to see today. You can hear them chirping all over the place. No, not that one. Nor that. There it is. Okay, it's a sparrow. One of Britain's most common and familiar birds. And one that most people actually don't even look at. So why am I so pleased to see one?
Because this bird, which was once so common in London we called it the Cockney sparrow, has now almost vanished from the city centre. In fact, just about the only place you can see them in any numbers is here at the zoo. It was a bit different when I was a lad.
Tell you what though, the sparrow was the first bird I ever recognised as a kid, because I used to call them baby birds before I knew they were actually called house sparrows. In fact, I've got a funny story actually. When I used to be a kid, I went to the hospital to see my sister when she was born. And basically, instead of going in to see my baby sister, I was outside counting sparrows. I had to be called in by my dad. I think my sister's never forgiven me for that.
I feed the pigeons, I sometimes feed the sparrows too. It gives me a sense of enormous well-being.
They're fantastic little birds, very cheeky. To me, they epitomise London.
There are all sorts of theories as to why sparrow numbers have fallen elsewhere. But zookeeper Adrian Walls thinks he knows why they're still thriving around here.
So Adrian, I can't believe the amount of sparrows in this place. I mean, they're all over the place.
No, it's great, isn't it? I mean, I suppose the lucky thing with the sparrows, I suppose, is we actually feed a lot of the animals in the zoo by scatter feeding. And basically what that means is we throw the food everywhere within the enclosure, and the sparrows are quite opportunistic, and they're squeezed through the bars, they take the food and they go back. So, you know, there's an abundance of food here for them, and, you know, they thrive on it.
You always think of sparrows as cheeky chappies. Are they kind of cheeky here? Do they land on people and nick their food and stuff?
They certainly nick food. I mean, they go and nick a bit of food from the gorilla. You know, they're not worried about that. You know, they go in with the vultures and steal a bit of food. You know, and they're just looking all the time.
I noticed that there's nest boxes all around. There's some behind you now. I mean, how many pairs breed in the zoo now?
In the zoo, we've probably got, I mean, there's a good 4 locations where, you know, there are large groups of sparrows nesting. I mean, the clock tower, this building behind us is one of the favourites for the sparrows, and there must be over 40, 50 nest sites, you know, around the zoo. And also, you know, sparrows being sparrows, they go to any of the old buildings and look for any nooks and crannies and, you know, go inside there and start nesting in there.
And what do you think about sparrows? What do they mean to you?
So, I mean, sparrows for me, I mean, I'm a bird watcher. I love going out watching birds. You know, every morning, you know, it's quite nice just to walk into the zoo, walk past the buildings, see the sparrows building nests, you know. As a child, I can remember lots and lots of sparrows around, you know, and I kind of watched them disappear a little bit, and it's nice to come to the zoo and see a nice, healthy, thriving population here, and it's, you know, we're trying to conserve a species on the doorstep as well as species globally.
I've really enjoyed seeing the bird that meant so much to me as a kid. I just hope that all the people who come here to see these beautiful, exotic birds take time to enjoy the good old Cockney sparrow.